Yeah, they went with the... but then they had the massive loading times of the PlayStation, on it, which N64 didn't have. But then the PlayStation could do media. So you know, like you guys would have full tracks and voice and all this shit. Like the N64 almost never had that.
Yeah.
The cartridge couldn't. I don't know what it is, but the cartridge couldn't handle media.
The thing I don't remember about SNES and N64 was the instant loading times. Huh?
Yeah, that's the one.
Kind of like what
It was the instant loading times. You remember you just plug it in?
No loading time for cartridge.
That was the prototype.
And GoldenEye also introduced 4-player split screen.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the first games with 4-player split screen.
It's done a lot, isn't it?
And competitive shooting again. It was all competitive, isn't it? If you think you were all seeing each other shoot. I think Halo is very much inspired by GoldenEye, man, and so is Call of Duty.
Every FPS stands on the shoulders of GoldenEye. There's no question.
Yeah, GoldenEye is one of those which I didn't even play it. I missed out on it.
But I need to check this. But I play inverted. As you play inverted. Yes. You play inverted because of Flight Simulator, right?
You play because of GoldenEye.
I play because of GoldenEye, and every time someone asks me, "Are you playing inverted?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I was a GoldenEye player, and that by default was inverted. And they're like, "No, it wasn't," because a lot of GoldenEye players, like you guys played GoldenEye, right? Do you remember if it was inverted or what?
Because
I'm pretty sure I'm an inverted player. I'll check it afterwards. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm an inverted player because of GoldenEye.
You're right, it was inverted.
It was inverted, didn't it?
It was inverted, yeah.
That's weird.
I think I heard Colin Moriarty say that. Okay, Yasin, hit me.
Number eight. Why do I keep closing my app? Number 8 we have...
What you got for me?
Battlefield 3. I had to make top 10.
Yeah.
I know you guys probably got it a bit higher. Battlefield 3 is an amazing game. Just the whole hype around it. From the beginning, got everything, the trailer, the soundtrack to the trailer, the graphics, the gameplay, the guns, the gunplay, the maps, everything. The game is just amazing.
Not one flaw.
That game,
amazing game. That game is solid 10, man.
That game delivered in every way. Prior to the game's reveal, it delivered in every way. The hype, and when the game came out, it was just as good as we expected it. In fact, even better.
The only downside for that game was that it came so late into the console cycle that the difference between the graphics on the computer versus
PC
versus console was so much that you could. And the 24, we were 24 players only, innit? Versus 64. That was the only thing about that game, but. But you can almost ignore that. Man. That's not the game's fault. That's
where I corrected that guy, isn't it? What did he say? He said it's
32 players.
24, right?
Yeah, and then we were like, you're right.
It's just a Euro game. We have to say no.
That was Sal.
Oh, it's just the Virgin Media thing.
He worked for. He was working for EA, and he had to give info on the game, and he got it wrong, saying.
And he was dressed like a commander. He's basically the dog's bollocks, and you cannot argue. He's a commanding officer in chief, right? So you can't.
I remember we went there. We were looking at the night mission.
Yes,
we were looking at the night mission there,
and it was pre-alpha.
It was horrible.
Even though we had just played a Euro game,
it was horrible. The pre-alpha, wasn't it? It was
really bad. It didn't have no options.
Yeah,
that was the game where when the beta before the beta alpha came out, like you had necks. Going all the way. Do you remember the next guy? There was a problem with the next.
We got a picture. The next guy.
Hilarious. But this game, like even as soon as we played, what was Operation Metro, man?
The best, probably the best map in that game.
We were hooked. I mean, Grand Bazaar. That game.
Metro felt like a war in Rush, didn't it? You start on the outside in the greenery, you fight, push down into the tunnels. Go through the tunnels, get to the subway, and then finally push back out on the other end.
The time passed in that map. Like time passed, bro. By the end of it,
the thing I loved about it, and this is something you mentioned to me. I remember you mentioned to me. It's like you're there as a soldier. Usually, like you play like COD, you play Halo, like you go with the team in one way, and that's it. You just got to attack them. But it's like you're in a war because
there's a front line, right?
There's a line. There's a group of soldiers here. And they're fighting these people. You can join these guys, they fight those people. You can join these guys, they fight these people. You make a choice.
True. There were mini battles on this large war going on, and you can pick which battle you want to do.
That is amazing.
How did they get that? That's just pure map design.
Yeah, and that was beautiful, man.
That game was.
What game?
Did not get enough.
And the font was amazing as well.
Yeah, they nailed it.
I used it when I made the map. It's an amazing picture.
Eugenie, what you got for me?
Debate.
Alright, let's have a look. What have we got here?
Samania.
I'm going to put in there Gears of War 2.
2?
Yeah.
But Gears of War 1 was the one that made you buy the 360, right? Oh, that was Gears of War 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gears of War 2 was made by the 360.
Yeah,
And I don't regret it at all.
Great game. Graphically, man. That was all about the graphics, that game.
No, gameplay for me. Man.
But before you bought it, the graphics were just the best I'd ever seen. Like, I guess that's more Gears of War 1. I bought that day one purely on graphics. So you guys also, you bought it for gameplay, did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
One was amazing.
It was
Really?
It was so good, the cover system and everything. It was so... And they chopping.
So had you played it? Had you played it before?
Yeah, I played it in his house.
Did you get Gears of War 1?
I think he convinced me to get Modern Warfare, and I think I convinced you to get Gears.
Yeah.
My Xbox
So no,
to
so
get
he let me. So we were playing Modern Warfare and stuff, and then I went to his house, and then I remember you go, there's this game called Gears of War 2 coming out.
Yeah.
And then he shows me a trailer for it, and then he goes, "I've got Gears of War 1." So we played a little bit of Gears of War 1, and then we showed the trailer again, and I go to him, "Oh, is this coming out on the PS3?" And he's like, "Nah, it's on the Xbox." I was like, "Crap!" So that killed me because we were always in the family of you only have one.
Yeah, of course.
Thing and that's it. But I was working at the time, and then he goes, "That convince your dad." I was like, you know what? If I can convince my older brother, he can go and convince my dad. Basically, that it's going to be okay to buy one. And I went to my older brother, and then the first thing I did is exactly what he did. I go, "There's a new game coming out." I didn't tell him it's on the PS3 yet or anything. The new game coming out. He goes, "What's it called?" I go, "Gears of War 2. He goes, "Cool. Chuck it on." So I put it on and I showed him. He goes, "This looks amazing." He was like, "This looks amazing."
So he's looking at graphics.
Yeah, he's like, "It looks amazing stuff." He goes, "When's it coming out PS3? It's not, yeah. And he goes, "What is an Xbox?" He goes, "Oh shit." I was like, "But this game is too good, man." I was like, "Listen, I could pick one up for £90 right now."
For real?
Yeah, at that point it's not the arcade.
4 gigabytes.
Yeah, obviously I didn't know I'd have to pay afterwards anyway. Yeah. But that's the way I sold it to him, and he goes, "Alright," he goes, £90 sounds good.
And was he putting his own money in?
No, I was buying it. But we had to get like
just
approval.
Permission,
approval to just spending money just to spend money, you know.
So I remember you guys played Gears quite a bit. You guys were probably...
Gears was a hard work, Gears.
You were online.
We played a specific mode.
Yeah, Guardian.
Guardian, and I'm pretty sure I was, and I'm pretty sure Riz was in it. We were in like the top 1,000 on leaderboards.
Yeah,
we played
for sure. For Guardian, for sure.
Guardian, for sure. Yeah, we played it so much, man.
That's amazing.
Gears is an amazing game.
That's what I put down there, and then I think I played Gears of War 1, 2 and 3 with my older brother. He completed all of them with me because you played double, innit? And
that was a great co-op game.
Yeah, so we completed all three. Obviously, I completed with him first, all the games, or with him, and then I would complete with my older brother.
Yeah, good game.
So that's some good memories, and it made me buy a console, so it has to be in my top 10 somewhere.
I knew that.
Do you know how I got my first Xbox? Do you remember, Wash?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah?
Good, yeah.
How was it?
Must have been Halo, no?
Halo. EMA money, bro.
You remember his chip?
Yeah, bro.
He helped me get my first 360.
What?
We bought a pre-owned one, remember? There's a pre-owned one, isn't it?
I remember knowing the price of it, and it was cheaper, so it must have been.
There's a pre-owned one.
I remember you're off by.
And there's a game station.
A game station.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. There's a front. Remember they have that front pre-owned stuff.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we brought. Yeah.
Good day. I remember exactly.
Yeah, that was amazing, man.
What are we on? 7?
Swifts number 7.
We've already spoken about it, but 7 is GoldenEye for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more of a nostalgia trip for me, man. Like it did set a precedent for all first-person shows now, but it was more about my cousins had it, I had it, my brother had it, and we all just wanted to keep playing at each other and beating each other and seeing who was the best. And I love that, man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, at this time, I'm not close with my cousin. But back then, we were so close. We were like brothers, man.
Yeah. So I wonder, I imagine GoldenEye was online. It would probably be an amazing game.
It would have been amazing.
It would have been a really competitive shooter.
It would have been amazing. It reminds me, I think there's a games before it that did something very similar, like, is it Unreal? Unreal
Tournament?
Unreal Tournament was before GoldenEye, I believe. No?
I'm not sure.
Watch Unreal Tournament was definitely an online game. It was
Unreal Tournament.
But you're right, that was known as like an online.
Yeah, but I think because not many people had the money to afford a PC, they didn't get to experience Unreal. So that's where when GoldenEye, other people have consoles and word of mouth spread again. But
I remember the one time I was playing Unreal Tournament, and I had the PC I was playing on, I remember it had like, coloured yellow tubes with liquid nitrogen in it. I'm not going to be able to afford that. But yeah, it was a fun game. But I didn't play it a lot.
I had Quake Arena. That was good.
Great game.
yeah, I remember that name.
Quake Arena was legendary.
Shenmue, boys.
Okay.
Wow, I actually thought that was going to be way higher.
I thought it'd be higher.
Mushen.
Now that I'm looking at this, that should be fucking high. Why is it 6? Why is it 6?
They're locked, man.
Yeah, I've locked it in now.
You've locked
it's
it
gone. It's gone to the universe. That should be high.
Shenmue.
But if you didn't get to play Shenmue when it came out, you missed out. The record holder for the most expensive game ever made at the time. And however, GoldenEye sold more than there were consoles. For Shenmue, the Dreamcast done so badly, each Dreamcast owner had to buy 2 copies of Shenmue just to make the game profitable. I think they cost them 100 million at the time.
Wow.
But just imagine a game that has had more money put into it than any other game in the past, on a console that's PS2 generation, and the first game that had, I think, day-night cycle. You had to get a job. You lived like it was like a Sims game plus an adventure game plus a fighting game, everything in one. I'm telling you, if you didn't play it when it came out, you missed out. There's no way to describe how ahead of its time that game was.
I can imagine that'd be a great game. It's just, I mean, the way you describe it, and also that sort of game would be. I like those kind of games. Like, you're actually, it's like your.
If any of you played that,
that's your character.
If you played it when it came out, you would have it on your top 10. It's that good.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
But before we move on, I don't think we'll have time to do the consolidated list today. So should we do our individual lists, and then next podcast we'll consolidate when we're fresh with energy too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's what you got for me.
We have for number 7. A very individual one to me.
Go on.
I don't know if any of you played it. Spyro, Year of the Dragon.
Yes.
These two love this shit.
Legends. So that.
What were you gonna say?
Spyro.
PlayStation fanboys.
The whole thing about Spyro is the world was amazing. It was a tough game, man.
Yeah, I remember a
Very hard game.
I don't remember it not being.
You remember that thief, the egg thief, catching that guy?
Bro, you could be running at full speed and he's sitting down. And he's gone. He's gone. I tried it. So we would always try to do that as a round thing so he doesn't move. Full speed ahead.
I know.
Gone.
Spyro was really good. And the other thing is, had longevity. It's really, it had so much to it, and you had side quests. Had boss fights. Really good game, man. And it had like different elements to it. Like you'd collect gems, and you'd also have to get the eggs and free the dragons. Different worlds. Really good game, really good world. No, it's a game. I know they remade it recently because it was Insomniac who had it before. So I think that's.
They got Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
But now they've got Skyrim. But I think that they remade Spyro as well.
Yeah, Spyro remade.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good game to play with kids. It's probably something I'll play with my when she's a bit older. Should probably appreciate it. It's a good game.
The Genie.
Super Mario World.
Yep.
On the SNES.
Yep.
Don't need to explain it either.
I generated the best game of all time.
There you go.
What?
There you go.
Why is it not your best game?
There you go. Just know. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Number 6, yeah? Are we on 6?
We are at number 6.
6, yeah? 6 is Gears of War 2 for me. Just the same reasons Rizzy spoke about.
Yes.
At the time, it convinced me to buy the Xbox 360. Action was amazing. But what made that game even more special was the multiplayer for me, man. I think the multiplayer just set new standards for me. I think that kind of got me into competitive gaming. That really kind of got me into competitive gaming online. Seeing how well I could do against other players around the world. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, good choice.
Great choice.
What? 6?
Number 6, Sonic the Hedgehog.
The first one?
Sega
Mega Drive.
Nostalgia thing here. First game I ever played. I remember that game. I must have been 2.5, maybe 3, and I'm holding a controller. And the D-pad on the Mega Drive. Did you guys play Mega Drive? In the middle of the D-pad, there was like a little circle right in the center. And I remember being 3 years old and thinking that was a button. And I'm like pressing it really hard, and obviously there's no center button on the D-pad.
It's separated, isn't it? The arrow keys are separated.
No, so it would be like one flat D-pad, all raised, but you'd have to go up, down, left, to right. There was no center button. But as a kid, you don't think of direction and this thing moving. So I've probably lived 3 years of my life just watching TV shows. Yeah. Don't even understand the concept of interactive games. Like you press a button, you see something on TV. And I can so vividly remember I pressed forward and Sonic starts moving with the screen, and I'm like, fuck. Even as a kid, I'm like, fuck. That thing was amazing, man. But I think most people agree that Mario was superior in every way, but that was the first game I played.
What?
Agree.
That was out on Sega Mega Drive.
What
console also was out during that time? Was it SNES?
SNES.
Yeah. I remember I went to Zohib's house and he had a Mega Drive and I saw Sonic on screen. I was so jealous.
Really? Yeah.
I didn't even know Sega Mega Drive existed. All I know is I haven't got that.
It looked better than Mario.
Yeah. I was saying I haven't got that, and I really want to play that game, man. I never got to play it.
The guy who worked for Sega at the time, he got fired after this. When they came to market, SNES was dominating, and so Sega's strategy was make as many games as you can. And so when you look at pound for pound, this average Sega Mega Drive game is way worse than the Nintendo game.
Yeah.
So Nintendo had Link to the Past, Mario Kart. They have fucking 10 out of 10 classics. Yeah. Mega Drive almost none. You have a couple, but have you know that time Shovelware? They just basically just chucked in game after game after game. I think it was like 10-1 by the end of it.
Wow.
Which flopped that console. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, man.
Mega Drive.
Right game.
That's it.
That's what you got for me.
What Mega Drive you got?
My next one again is one which none of you have played. Emperor Battle for Dune.
Oh, is this what the movie's based on?
So this is based on Frank Herbert's novels, and that's based on Frank Herbert's novels.
Oh shit!
But now I don't know which part of they're going to take from it, but amazing game. It's an RTS game, real-time strategy game.
Is it top down?
Graphics.
Top down.
It's top down, but you can also pan, so you can kind of.
Right.
It was one of the first games to do that. For real-time strategy. The whole world is amazing. The different factions you have.
Is this Command & Conquer related at all?
Yes, Westwood Studios. So it's the same company who made it.
But story-wise, no overlap.
Completely.
So this movie coming out, Dune, it's got nothing to do with what's the name of the Command & Conquer teams?
GDI Nod.
GDI Nod, I think that's the one.
They have to do with Atreides, Harkonnen, and Orders. So it'll be, and you'll have the Fremen side of the sub factions, and that's what's really good about it. Like it's got, each faction has its kind of own. You like all of them, like you don't hate one.
Yeah,
because even the Harkonnen, they're meant to be evil, but still you do like
There's
them.
that likability.
Likability about it, and they have some amazing troops and stuff.
What was this console or PC?
PC. I played this on PC. This is on PC. Again, and they had online. I played online with this as well. Really, really good game, man. This is
good choice.
Personally.
Dijit?
Oh, my next one. I've put on here Fortnite.
Yeah.
I had to put it on there.
I had to be there.
I just had too much fun.
Just tell me why.
Had too much fun on the game, and it was literally in a theme park without being in a theme park. Really. Yeah. Because I hate rides.
There's a theme park without any rides.
Plus break. Yeah, I think that has changed, like streaming culture and gaming culture going forward. I think it brought something totally new. It was a worldwide phenomenon again. I don't think I'll ever play a game like it, or just people talking about it and stuff, or even being half decent at that point and seeing how it evolved. Like, when you play a game and you think it can't go any further now, innit?
Yeah.
Like it can't, and then it just kept doing it.
Like Street Fighter, like the Street Fighter effect, right?
Exactly,
like, so many layers to it.
And it just kept going, and then...
Do you guys remember when we were like, okay, what does B do? And I builds.
Don't use that.
Like, never gonna use that in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Because that was like... Because they have Fortnite Battle Royale and they have Fortnite Save the World, yeah? And Save the World had the building mechanics.
Yeah.
And we were like, it's like leftover from... Yeah, fuck this button. We don't never need
They just didn't want to change the controls.
I just thought it's just like brought over without giving any thought.
But man,
And now try and play that game without using that button.
No.
Can't even do it.
because what?
So I had to put Fortnite down on there.
Yep, I agree with all of that.
Absolutely, and that's gonna definitely make the collective top 10. I mean, even like it's changed. It's just changed gaming. I mean, how you look at they took Arthur Ashe Stadium where you have the US Open final, and it had people watching a tournament with and that's where they had the World Cup. The World Cup was at Arthur Ashe Stadium, which is where the US Open final happens, tennis.
Oh yeah, the World Cup itself.
Yeah, the World Cup happened there. That's massive, man. Like, no game's even gone close to that. So huge, massive game. Good choice.
2. Yeah. That's a great game.
Yeah, the only reason we don't have in our head, like I love Fortnite, it's on my list, but because there was no hype, there was no going to the store, there was no buying involved.
Yeah,
it's such a muddled memory of what my feelings for that game is. Initially, I just remember loving the game at some point, but there was no like. This is probably the only game on the list where I wasn't hyped before I played the game.
True.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing to.
I know that the beginnings of that game is very strange for me because at that time we were all playing on Xbox.
Yep.
Yeah. My first experience of really enjoying that was on PlayStation 4, and enjoying that on my own. And
you know what I remember about the game too?
It was so odd for me, man.
I remember you said to me, "There's a game called PUBG."
Yeah.
And it's a battle royale. And then we're like, "There's a free version out.
Yeah.
It's cartoony. It's pretty shit, but it'll keep us going until they release PUBG."
Yeah. Yep.
This is probably August 2017.
Yeah.
And we had no idea that that's going to become the biggest game of all time. We got in real early.
It wasn't even a Euro game.
That's why I liked it too, is that by the time it was blowing up, the reason I kept playing it more because we were better than the average person at that point.
We were a couple of months ahead.
Yeah,
the average person.
Yeah, the average person. That was another factor of why I kept playing
There's
it.
a point I think where we would pretty much win every game, man.
Yeah.
We were winning most games.
I remember our first... I remember the first game us four had, or maybe Assen wasn't there.
Boogie Bomb. Oh, no.
Way before Boogie Bomb. Boogie Bomb came months after. We're talking, we probably got like 3 guns and almost nothing on the island. And there was 2 teams left.
Mm-hmm.
Us and another team. And I remember saying to Riz, "I'm just going to poke my head out to see what's going on." And then everything goes, whilst we get sniped.
That's hilarious.
Poke my head out.
That game is incredible.
And that had revive back then as well, right? Like as long as you're not out, you could get revived. So I remember you revived and I was like, "Fuck, I'm back in the game." What a...
That was a great concept. 2017, right?
Yeah,
2017.
100%.
I think it came out July 2017. We played it in August.
I think there's no one that does out of all of us, including the missus right now, that I remember that game fondly, man.
Yeah.
I remember Mary had her moments in that game where I think she won the game at the end.
I remember
she was so pumped.
In this house we had probably 10 TVs, 4 or 5 iPads, and there was like Fortnite. My toaster was playing Fortnite. Everything was just Fortnite. Everything was hooked up.
I remember when I was starting to get into building, and I thought the best way, the most efficient way to build was to just build a cube and build a stair.
Yeah.
And you were the last one alive in a game, and all you were doing was pressing B, building, and then letting go. And then you would hide around it, and then someone would come and you'd build again and shoot. Do you remember you used to do that? You still do that a lot. You press B, you build, you get out, and you wait for them to make a mistake and shoot.
You use it as cover.
Build again, use it as cover. And I was thinking, how the hell is he going to survive and you end up winning the game?
I remember that was a tech shot ready.
I need to adopt this tactic.
Man. And the penalty were jumping. They weren't even like fully out. They were like half in the ground. And you were like kind of jumping over it.
The other team doesn't know how to build, so they didn't do stairs. And you just kept building barriers. And I was like, this is a tactic I need to adopt in every one of the games.
That was a 3-on-1 scenario you had.
One best moments I had in the game.
Yeah, I remember that, man. Because we were so silent, the 3 of us. We were like holding our breath, like, will Assen pull this off?
That brilliant. What I still remember the fact that I remember Lil Riz was playing the game as well, right?
Yeah.
And we were I remember we were so bad. We didn't care about building. I remember. I was like, "Can you build around me?" Do you remember like Riz used to build around me, like because I had no idea what to do, how to build. When I started playing the game, because all you
got mats in it. You literally just carry mats to drop them to someone who can build them.
You just build around.
They carry drop me mats.
Do you guys remember Allier builds?
Yeah.
Say, guys, let's make an Allier build and we'll win the game.
It was like the one trick to his glory.
So good.
Great game, man.
Soups, I think
we're hitting top 5. You've done Fortnite.
Yeah.
We're on top 5 now, isn't it?
It's
tough, man.
It does get tough.
What's your 5th one?
It does get tough, yeah.
Super Mario 64 is my it's top 5 for me, man. That game, man. I think we've all said, huh?
You were N64 kid?
Yeah, man, I had an N64 before PS2, man.
Dude, you were buying expensive games now.
No,
What job
so
were you doing?
I didn't do nothing. It was a Grom who had convinced my dad to buy it for him and then get him Golden as well.
The older brother, bro.
When you were
The older brother.
And Super Mario, I think you said it once. I think one of you said it. One of you played Super Mario 64 here, and me and Grom had no clue what we were doing. The world was vibrant, walking around this castle. I was like, this is really boring. Like, it looks good, but it's really boring. Like, you're just doing the same thing.
Yep.
And Grom's like, when I press on this painting, it's telling me something. Read it. We're reading it. I was like, just jump. We didn't even know we could jump in. I was just like, just do something. So Ikram was pissing me off. And he jumped and he went in. And that's when I got it. I got it. Amazing, man. It was every painting was leading you to a new world, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
man.
each painting was a new world.
New world, man. Wash. I couldn't believe
that game
that,
had some
man.
mood to it, man. That castle. It was kind of scary, that castle, man. That was almost haunting, man. Do you remember the never-ending staircase?
Yeah.
Penrith.
It was towards the end of the game, like the last painting would be of... Yeah, it would be messed, because you're basically looking for a painting of Princess Peach, right? Once you get into that picture, you're gonna fight Bowser and save the princess.
I don't remember.
And then after ages, if I remember correctly, they show you the painting on the top of a staircase.
Yeah.
And you're like, you've made it.
Yeah.
And then you're going up, and it takes you a while to realize that these fucking bastards are just playing you right now.
Yeah.
It takes you a while, bro.
It reminds you of something, Riz.
What?
The never-ending staircase.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Running up, isn't it?
Did they have a never-ending second?
MJ3?
Bastards, bro.
No, MJ3.
What made that even more convincing that there's going to be something at the end is that every staircase is a guy to fight.
Yeah.
Every staircase is like eventually it's got to end, no?
Wow. That would
every stake.
Which
but
one?
then when you complete the first
One. And then 3 did it in something as well with the...
3 was amazing because it started playing Snake.
Yeah, it started playing Snake. It started playing music while they're climbing up.
No, but that wasn't a never-ending one. That was
It was trying to convince you that but playing music, bro. While they're climbing up.
that music saved you because the length of the ladder perfectly matched the length of the song.
Yeah.
Right? So you're like, okay, it's probably going to end. Like, if they hadn't had that, I would have given up halfway.
That was a great tune, by the way.
Tune.
Yeah.
Is it me? My fifth, boys, is Halo 1.
Halo Combat Evolved.
For the reasons mentioned earlier. That's it. I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, good choice. I have at number 5. It's a tough one. I had to think about this one. I've put Overwatch.
Well,
I had that somewhere in my honourable mentions and took it out.
Overwatch.
Same.
We all played Overwatch.
You have to have that.
The amount I played that, man, I went into that game. I went into the science of that game. Honestly, I went into that game. I was watching videos of angles, man. Honestly, right angles. Like, I was learning. Obviously, you pick a character. There's a few things I like about the game. The first is it's addictive. It's skill based. Right, it's an addictive skill-based system, which is a great thing, but also, there's this Elo Hell element of it, which is really frustrating as well, which is true.
The gambling of it all.
Really screw you over, yeah, exactly. The other thing I really liked about the game is that it's a great concept, it's a team-based shooter, but it feels like it's, that Blizzard have taken a shooting game and a fighting game and merged them together. A fighting game and shooting and merge them together.
You're the fighting characters.
Because you have your heroes, right, and they have the abilities, and you've got to learn them. And you have to learn other characters as well, because they have abilities, and you have to know how to counter them, even though you're not necessarily going to use them, right? So, I really like that about the game. You could, especially, it has different roles. You can take different roles in the game. Spend so much time in it, and there's so much, you could. There's even a Reddit page called Overwatch University, and honestly, I remember so one of the recent metas was called Goats. Where you basically got loads
3
of
tanks, right?
Yeah, 3 tanks and 3 supports. Yeah, some dude wrote a 70-page article on Goats. Honestly,
70 pages.
70 pages. Yeah, legit 70 pages, like basically explaining how to use it.
Dissertation.
Exactly, and that.
I call it university.
Obviously, I didn't read it. I'm not playing at. Obviously, I'm not Grandmaster. I'm not playing on top 500 where you're playing Goats at a high level. Then you need
500 is such an amazing thing.
Or competitive, you watch League, right? They're using Goats, which obviously they have mirror matches all the time. But like that 70 pages, man. Like the fact that you have that is a big thing about how
the game has to
the
be
game
very
is.
in depth to allow you to write a 70-page article on it.
Yeah, so
great game, man.
So that's what I put.
I think its biggest strength was also the biggest weakness. It was so complex, which made it addictive, but also such a barrier to entry. Like if I wanted to play that game now, forget about it, man. Like
because the thing is,
2-day long.
You're right. And the problem is like the person who goes in and plays the game, if he goes and plays it without knowing how the game works, he's going to let his team down.
Yeah.
Because you go out, you do your thing, everyone runs out, right? Yeah. That's how it works, right? You die, you respawn, you go and run out. You don't do that. You can't do that. And you're encouraged to die in certain situations. You actually jump off you jump off.
Yep.
So you respawn together.
Yeah, I don't have a game that does.
So that was really good. You enjoyed Overwatch, right? You played it a lot. I know you obviously
But
yeah, it's just too toxic. That's the only issue with that.
It was very toxic, and
a lot of games have that toxicity about them, but that game I just have more frustrating.
It's because they're so dependent upon the team being together.
Yeah,
it's probably similar to
quitting and that. Oh, man.
It's like imagine playing World of Warcraft with randoms, right? It'll be like the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It is an amazing.
You have Leroy Jenkins everywhere, right? You have too many Leroy Jenkins in Overwatch. That's the problem.
I remember you convinced me to pick that up, right? Yeah. I definitely picked it up.
Yeah, what happened? They had a free weekend.
Yes.
During Ramadan, and you guys all came over.
And I remember we weren't playing ranked, we were playing casual. And
yeah.
I thought I was the best player. The first game, I thought I was the best player in that game for some reason. I was doing, is it May? No, the one that no, the one who's like a robot and then rushes and explodes.
Diva.
I was doing that left, right, and centre, and everyone was dying, and I was like, "This is it."
Nerf this.
Yeah, I finished the game. No one knows what to do.
That doesn't kill anyone nowadays. You kill one person.
Yeah, unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Good game. Yeah,
Rizwan.
I'm putting The Last of Us in here.
What number are we at?
Number 5.
I don't know what my numbers are. I was reading
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That had to be in there. I knew it would be in there.
I'm putting The Last of Us in there.
Mm-hmm. The story, basically.
Yeah, story, gameplay. I think it's probably one of the best game on this generation.
It's got great gameplay, man. It's got some of the best animations. You remember, you could start a brawl, and it could potentially lead into a knife fight, and that knife fight would end with you don't know that it would end with him going into the wall or into a bookcase.
It had finishing moves, didn't it?
Yeah, it was incredibly well done, man. It's very fluid, the animations.
I think it was really scary too, the clickers and stuff. I guess it took the best out of loads of different games, like Resident Evil and Tomb Raider and Uncharted, and they just kind of just mashed them all together with two amazing, likable characters.
Yeah, that's the thing for me, man. It made me care about these characters.
Yeah, so
that was the big thing for me.
The voice acting was sublime, I guess. You could really feel it. So I had to put that in there. I know because it's like a game that just stuck with me. Like I played amazing other games too, like God of War 3, 4, or whatever it was, Horizon. They're all up there, but there's something about this game, and I think it goes down to the characters themselves. I think it had to be in there.
It's basically a movie, man, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a movie. The cutscenes are incredible. The story is really great, but I think it's got beautiful moments as well, man. I think you've all played it, man.
No, I haven't.
But you've seen it?
Again, I've seen parts of it.
You finished it, right? That's it?
No. I've seen the bits I've seen again. Amazing.
It's that opening, man. It's that opening that
his life changes completely.
The baby girl thing.
His daughter.
And it comes back around, doesn't it?
And it comes, the whole thing. That's the game that if anyone was like, I'm not into video games, I'd say, okay, we play the first half an hour of The Last of Us and then tell me if you're into video games.
It's an incredible game, man. Agreed. And even though it's not an open world, they make it feel like a massive world, man, that you're exploring.
I do love like dystopian sort of worlds too, and I think they captured it pretty well.
Again, for me, that was one of those games where I really wanted to know more about the lore. Like you go into a house and the house is broken down, you can see certain things, and then you pick up like a letter, and I actually would read the letter. I would like to know what happened in this house. It was amazing.
See, that's something I like doing in games.
Yeah, I found it really fascinating, man. They had a lot of conversations between Ellie and Joel, and she would initiate a conversation that would lead
so natural, isn't it?
So natural.
So you're walking. Most games, when you're walking, you're silent, and an AI would just initiate a conversation that would be deep and go on for like a good 5 minutes. Yeah, really good game.
Amazing. Good choice there. So I'm on 4. So we've just talked about Last of Us.
Got there for you.
It had to be there.
Got there for you.
We're very proud about that. 4 for me.
4th for me, Street Fighter 2.
2 Turbo.
Great game.
The Mega Drive 1 Champions Edition, whatever.
Is Street Fighter 2 still not 2 when it was Turbo? Like, what was the major differences between the games?
One was played in the arcade, one wasn't. The one that I played in the arcade was 2
the
Turbo.
different consoles have.
Me and Nav, we had the discussion, right? Champions League could be whatever Champion Edition it wants to be. It was not played in the arcade. So for that reason, it was not the competitive.
Were there no differences in the characters?
It was speed. The speed of the game was
the speed of the game and one other thing.
It didn't have as many characters though.
Amazing.
I think it was mainly World Warriors only.
Yeah. It didn't have
Fei Long, Cammy, and all those guys.
That's Fei Long.
No, their version did.
Mega Drive had Fei Long.
But this edition,
didn't know he existed, right?
yeah, this
Remember,
edition.
Mega Drive had a version that didn't have Fei Long, Hyper Fighting or something like that. Mega Drive had
It weren't too
that game
bad.
deserves credit for for not doing anything to the base game, adding one character and then selling it as an entirely separate game.
Street Fighter been doing it for years.
Amazing.
You're right, entirely separate
Deserves
game.
so much credit just for doing that.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's
So yeah, this
But
that one
I'm
only
very
had
fond
World
of
Warriors,
that game,
I remember. And then that actually comes round to one of the first ever, I think, Evos for Street Fighter 4. Mm-hmm. So all the Japanese guys, obviously they didn't fly out, so only Daigo would fly out because he's like the main name, right?
Yeah.
Playing in the arcade, they didn't have any of the extra characters that we got on the console version. Obviously, so they had the game 6 months before us, but we had extra characters. So he got, I think they said that he got to the quarterfinals and he faced Justin Wong. So it's obviously a big fight already, right? And Justin Wong doesn't pick Rufus, which he can play against. He picks Fei Long, which Daigo's never played against. He beats Daigo.
Fuck.
He beats Daigo one game.
And it's a Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
Because we're talking from vanilla versus Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, so vanilla, just vanilla. Not even strawberry or anything, just vanilla.
So why did they not have Fei Long?
Huh?
Because
they'll play on the arcades.
So it's the same version of the game, but the arcades don't have
Yeah,
a couple of characters.
they only had the World Warriors apparently on the arcade. The first base game only had that. It's only on the console. Yeah, it's only. But they're 6 months before anyone else.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But the downside is
that and Street Fighter being such a game that it matters on the matchup, on knowing when you can punish when someone can't. He used it in his advantage and he beat him. I think 2 games and you have to play out 3.
Yeah.
But the guy is just such a beast. He learned in 2 matches. He learned how to beat the guy.
Fuck, Daigo still won.
Yeah, he still won.
Fuck,
No way.
Still won.
Genius.
So you downloaded in 2 games.
He downloaded not the person, but the the character he's playing as. Trying to figure out how can he beat this guy that I've never played against.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Because it's ballsy to pick a character like Fei Long when you know you have all these other amazing characters that you should be playing with, basically. Yeah. So all the World Warriors were the strongest. You either played with Saga or you played Ryu.
Fei Long?
He probably was like C tier. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if say someone's T tier. If you don't know how to play the character,
and that's why Justin picked him, right?
That's why.
So he was hoping to win on the surprise factor.
Yeah, which he was doing very well.
And he still lost.
Then he lost. Yeah,
that is nuts.
Street Fighter 2 came out when, by the way? Like on Mega Drive. When did the original come out?
96, 90.
I'm pretty sad. I remember being in the hospital. Like, Graham was in hospital for something, and my dad bought the TV, rolled the TV up, and he bought the SNES in or something. 100% remember playing Street Fighter 2, and I was thinking this is unbelievable. I'm going to play this, and it wasn't our SNES. It was hospital was giving us a console.
Wow.
And Street Fighter 2 was in it. That was the first time I heard the word Hadouken as well.
In the hospital.
Yeah.
Bro, 91.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it was really old, Rush. Because Ikram was in hospital at the time.
I was 1.
He was really unwell. And we were
I was 1.
Yeah, that's one.
I was playing when I was in the cop.
way.
Crawling around doing the
I haven't even seen
Yeah,
it.
what did I say to him? All I remember is Ikram goes to me, what's the move, the spin kick? In the actual game. Tatsumaki Sampuki, I said that now, didn't I?
Yeah, you fucking died.
He died, didn't it? But I remember Ikram on that day, because there's one thing I'm going to do, you want to know what to do to it. I was like, yeah, do it. It was, you know, it's called a shak shak duke.
Yeah.
He just kept doing it. I was like, I can't do that.
My older brother used to do that one too. It's tough, isn't it? You can't do anything to it.
What do you have to do to it?
You just
No, but at the time I was like trying to throw Hadouken. He just kept.
You got
through the Hadouken,
yeah,
didn't it? He kept missing it.
Was this this wasn't the game which had the amazing comeback, right?
That was three.
That was
Third Strike. That was Third
That's
Strike.
right,
That's right. That shows how much I know about Street Fighter.
That was an amazing.
Third Strike.
That comeback, again, like me and my Halo fans who haven't played Street Fighter, Rainhawk, remember Rainhawk? Right?
Yeah.
He goes, the best thing he's ever seen in his life. It's one of the best things I've seen in my life, for sure.
Anyone goes.
From a gaming perspective, it's one of the best things I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
What you got on your fourth, Asin?
Numero 4.
You didn't say yours, did you?
Mine's
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
I have Pokemon.
Red, blue? Oh, gold, crystal.
Gold, silver, crystal, yeah. Now, and no, don't get me wrong, the 151 were great, yeah. They were amazing, but there was something about the additional 200, additional 100.
What was the name? Cyndaquil and all that
Yes,
crap.
yeah.
It was 251?
Machamp.
No, that was but we had Lugia, Typhlosion,
At this point, I'd given up on Pokemon. Right?
So the thing I love,
Lee, man.
what I loved about this game is again, amazing game, you know, and you get, obviously with Crystal you get 2 legendary Pokemon because you get Lugia. Actually, you get all of them. You get Lugia, Ho-Oh.
Lugia and Ho-Oh were separate. Like gold and silver.
Yeah, Susan. But no, in Crystal I think you can get both. And also the fact that what's amazing about the game is you finish the game, you actually go to Kanto.
And you do the whole game again?
Yeah, you do the whole game.
The whole
so you
gym.
Yeah, so you finish the game, you finish Johto, which is the second one.
Yep.
And you go to Kanto, which was the original,
it's 2 games in one.
red, blue, and yellow. Yeah.
Wait, was this Game Boy or Game Boy Color?
Game Boy Advance.
It definitely wasn't Advance.
Crystal was Advance.
No, Crystal wasn't either.
Really? Color or Advanced? It was Color or Advanced.
Sure.
It was Color or Advanced. Probably Color.
Pokemon Crystal. Color.
It was Color.
Yeah.
The only reason I say Advanced is because my my emulator was called Visual Boy Advance. That's why I say
Visual.
A lot of people play those.
Dude, emulator was amazing, man. Like, who didn't? ROMs and everything. It was amazing. Amazing invention. Emulators.
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing invention.
I used to catch Mew straight away, bro. Straight away. Pidgey and then Mew.
Yeah.
0 to 100, literally 0 to 100.
So yeah, those that would be
Yeah, good pick, man.
I'll put Vice City for the next one.
Yeah, that's the one that you had earlier.
Yeah.
So number 4.
Okay.
Which we've
But
already
you're
discussed.
putting in any order, right? Like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. 3. Soofs, what you got for number 3?
I could probably guess these 3.
Battlefield 3.
Okay. Right, same as mine. Yeah, Battlefield 3.
Battlefield 3?
Yeah, okay. Battlefield 3.
Very good.
choice,
I
good
have
choice.
number 3. Again, unique one to me, so a lot of mine I'm going to make a combined list. Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be on
I
there.
respect that because of the soundtrack. Because I played that game and I didn't like the game.
Who did
Best
the
soundtrack? Michael McCann.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Best soundtrack of any game.
Basically, it wasn't Hans Zimmer, so who cares, isn't it?
Very ambient, very great sound. You can listen to it anywhere. Like literally, I could be at work and listening to it. Honestly, it's so good.
I need to play that.
The gameplay
It's
itself.
Illuminati related, right?
It is.
Did they mention
it does
my
have
name,
it.
Illuminati?
I'm
thinking
they,
they
they mention
I
it in
played the
an earlier
game.
game. They mention
Yeah,
it
and
in
the
an
first
earlier
was
game.
a Dune and RTS, right?
Good memory. Yeah, they
I
mentioned
remember that with Ani at the front. Looks like Ani.
Just like Denton, yeah. So this game is a really amazing game. And again, what I love about this game is the subtle details about the game. Like you've got this ambient track playing in the background, so it sets the mood. And you know the way you play the game is different ways. You can go all guns blazing. You can play stealth. You can choose how to play, and it has skills such as you can hack systems, or you can do there's various different ways you can approach the game. And the fact that I can literally stand somewhere and 2 people will be having a conversation. You can listen in on them. You can read emails. You can get to know the world. Really good game, man. Really
That didn't get the love it deserved.
Really good game.
I know.
I think it got a good rating. They did get a good rating.
Good. Straight.
I think. I don't know what IGN gave it.
It did get good ratings across the board.
Got a decent rating, yeah. But again, it was
The Joker was arrested for it.
What? Joaquin Phoenix and Martin Sheen arrested at Fire Drill Friday.
yeah.
Arrested?
Okay.
He flew in unannounced. Yeah. That thing. It's about climate change, basically.
Yeah.
And he just randomly flew in unannounced.
I started preaching about climate
got
change.
9 on
Well,
IGN.
So he probably loves getting arrested for that reason.
Yeah, he flew in for he talked more about being vegan and stuff and how it affects how animal agriculture is like third most.
He's a vegan,
thing.
is he?
He's been a vegan for ages, isn't it? for ages.
How do you put on that weight?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you put that weight being a
I
vegan?
don't know, but he's been there for ages.
He
He goes, it's the first time that he came to the Golden Globes, he ate, and he goes, the first time ever, he goes, I've come to the Golden Globes, ate because they went vegan. He mentions it in his speech.
Yeah, I remember he mentioned it. I
goes,
just thought it was like he just had a moment of realisation in that moment. But
he goes, this is the first time I've ever ate at Golden Globes, ever.
respect.
Yeah.
So they got 9 on IGN, which is decent.
Yeah.
Oh, my one, yeah?
Yep.
Next.
Number 3.
Number 3
next one,
is Super Street Fighter 4.
Super Street. This is the one with.
Just after Street
Yin Yang Yung Yang.
Yeah,
Different game.
Yin Yang and all those guys.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Why that? Why not vanilla?
Because that's when it became most competitive for me. Super Street Fighter 4 was the most balanced game there was. So it wasn't just Ryu and Sagat fighting it out at every
Didn't
end
they
of the
patch up
finals.
vanilla to make that balance? No.
No. Vanilla was always 180 uppercut, bro. You take the
tell me-
uppercut, it's 880, bro. That's it. That's all you need to know.
So the first nerf to Sagat's uppercut came in Super
Yeah, but then he went from A
to
C.
Yeah, I remember.
So it wasn't like S tier. Sorry, they have S
S
tier
to
and
C.
A tier. He went S to C.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. But it balanced out the whole game. Like, it was so balanced. Like, your top 8, you couldn't really predict it. You could say there's a Ryu going to be in there because he was still really good back then. But then obviously down the line he went worse because of his whole thing was the medium kick, right?
Once they got, all I remember from that game, once they got rid of the double hit on the hard uppercut, because you could dash, you had to go medium to dash out after that. Remember?
Yeah, because that's double hit.
Yes.
One
But
hit
remember the
was
hard
it
punch
was
used
hard
to be
one.
double.
Yeah.
No, it was never.
No, initially it was double.
No, never.
Could you not
100%.
ever dash out from
You could
hard
dash out from a fierce uppercut, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Yeah. So
But it wasn't double.
But it wasn't double.
Yeah.
The reason they did that obviously is because it used to be 180 damage right off the bat.
And then dash, yeah.
And then dash, where they would only be like, you're taking 100 damage, then you dash. But if you double hit, it's 180.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
When they got rid of the ability to dash out of a hard uppercut,
Yeah.
they took my boy, man. They took him.
But he was still very strong. He would still get to the end. Obviously, Daigo was still winning with him all the major tournaments. But yeah, that's when it became most balanced, and that was when it was the most fun in terms of competitive mode. Yeah. It's like you would come across different characters, and you really were fighting the roster.
What was the online system like? Is this the tournament mode at this point?
So the thing had ended. The championship, championship mode. That thing had ended.
That was True Skill, wasn't it? Champion.
Oh yeah, it was True Skill. It was
Yeah, it was True
Skill.
Skill.
That's True Skill.
Yeah, that was True Skill. So that had ended.
Battle Points was proper True Skill.
Yeah, and then
Championship was a little less.
Yeah, then you just had was just battle points basically.
What was tournament mode?
You would start. You would need to win like 4 games in a row.
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah, that's why I put down Super Street Fighter 4 because that was the most competitive, and that's when I was in the competitive scene the most. I think
Yeah,
at
that
that
game
point
was
I was.
the strangest thing about that game, I think it's been in every Eurogamer. Every Eurogamer. Including this bloody year's Eurogamer.
When we do our consolidated
beginning.
list,
Yeah.
it'd be a good fight between Street Fighter 2 and 4 on it.
True. Yeah.
You do
So
it.
I have. Well, it was in my honourable mentions. Got loads
Street
of
Fighter 2.
What was 2?
2 turbo.
Yeah, like I was saying in our consolidated list,
Yes.
the fight between 4 and 2 would be a tough one.
It'd be a good fight, yeah.
Soup's number 2.
Metal Gear Solid.
Which one?
It's 3.
Okay.
2 deserves so much praise because I watched the trailer, man, over and over and over and over again, bro.
What game?
2 deserves so much praise, man. The trailer, the jump to Metal Gear Solid 2 was a movie for me,
2
bro.
was so
Metal Gear Solid 2 was a movie at that point. When I watched the trailer, this is lifelike and it's a movie. This is not graphics anymore. It was so good. The soundtrack, Harry Gregson was so good.
Great game.
But 3 overall beats it for me because the villains, the story, boss. Big boss.
Once you become a Metal Gear fan, you love 3.
You love 3.
But if you're not a fan of the series, Metal Gear Solid 2 was a showpiece.
Sure be, bro.
100%.
I watched that trailer more than I think I've watched anything. There's one moment in the trailer where the song finally kicks in. It's ramping up.
And he's running on the bridge.
The bridge is amazing, man. Where he jumps off the bridge. That's great.
So good.
But it's very much near the action-heavy sequences. And Snake says, you hear Liquid again for the first time. And he goes, Liquid, stop that thing. And he chucks the Rex the rain off the bridge, and then the song goes da-na-na, and he jumps off the bridge, man. I was like, I'm gonna keep rewinding, just so I can listen to that moment again.
Wow.
And I was Metal Gear Solid 2 stands the test of time for me, man. And 3, weirdly enough, I didn't have PlayStation 2 at the time. Do you know a guy called Hussein? I think a lot of people know him from Slough. Okay. Now he does like a lot of hijama and stuff.
Yeah.
He's really talented, brother.
Manapaka.
He brought the PlayStation 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 in the most amazing briefcase I've ever seen. It was silver. It had a gold trim. And it had and when I opened it,
we happy.
Yeah. Opened it, right? Just like that beam of light came out. Metal Gear Solid 3, man. What a game, man. And there was one boss that I still think till this day, if you play on the hardest difficulty, you can't beat him. At the end. You can't beat him.
The sniper, it was a sniper.
But you can beat him funny enough in the game, innit? There's a cheat.
There's time for it. He dies.
You can kill him before that.
There's a moment, there's a cutscene.
If he gets rolled in a wheelchair, if you shoot him quickly, he's gone. And he dies in the wheelchair, he blows up, and you fall down, and he goes, the end. And goes, the end.
But I heard there's another cheat that, because he's so old, all you have to do is change your console's time like a couple hundred years.
I thought that was MGS1.
No.
MGS1 is change the memory card.
Yes, the memory card.
Psychomantis.
Yeah, it's like, I can't read you, innit? I can't read.
You can't read it.
He's screaming, man. He's screaming. You can start naming like other Konami games that you've played, innit? Oh, Castlevania. They were only allowed to mention Konami games. So if you had played them, it's only memory card, you'd bring it up.
Mad.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Man.
It's only memory card, that's amazing, isn't it?
MGS3 was
8 megabytes.
So MGS3, amazing game. The salute and everything, amazing.
Yeah, the end is incredible.
The boss fight that really got me was the Sora.
Yeah,
that was tough.
Yeah, that was
psychological. Yeah,
I
in the waters, isn't it? And running through the trenches, all those people are dying in death.
He was a strange character. He wasn't good or bad, and he was just there.
Yeah,
twisted.
Okay, Soups, that's your number 2.
Yeah,
good choice.
Mine is Fortnite.
Wow, high on the list.
Fortnite, man.
So high. That being Shenmue is very surprising to me. Since I've known you, I would have always said Shenmue.
Yeah, I think Shenmue would be 3rd on that list. I don't know why it was so low.
I think with Fortnite, you've got a combination of what it's done and what it's done for you.
We'll never have that again now. That was a once in a lifetime
communal Fortnite.
Free to play game on every device with a screen.
That's nuts. Yeah.
The amount of stories that I can say they'll never happen again. For example, me and Soofs or someone's playing, and Arfi and his mate Prince, who never plays video games, is just online in a duos match, and I jump in. Like we jump in a squad, we play a group of 4. We got who else do we have? I think Asaya's first ever game, Fortnite, probably. Playing with me.
Wow.
The whole family playing. It's just I don't think you can ever have that.
Fortnite.
Now when I think back to it, how the hell did we even get games started? And we only had a maximum of 4 players per lobby, right? And everyone played the game.
Yeah,
how do we even
all
have lobbies? All out on
individual lobbies.
Yeah, we would switch it.
But I think that's the game that us for specifically after Battlefield were just always in the squad playing. That was the game. I think that was the last of the one. As sad it is to say, I don't think that'll happen again now. Free to play. Thank God that was free to play.
But it worked out well for them, innit? They were having the free to play model. Yeah. How much money have they made? Crazy.
That's him.
Number 2? These are easy. Halo 3.
Over Halo 1. Halo 1's his first choice.
Halo 3.
I like that so much.
It had to be there, man. Like, how much time did I spend playing Halo 3?
Was that Xbox 360, right?
360, yeah. I mean, look, I spent more time playing Halo 3 than at uni.
Do you reckon that's because of you just happen to have loads of friends playing at the same time, or is it because of Halo?
The thing is, I met them. That's where I met them.
But like, if you didn't have that group of friends,
what group of friends? Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Would it still be Halo 3?
I wouldn't be playing as much. I probably wouldn't be playing as much or as long.
Halo 2 is it better than Halo 3? Do you think?
Not for me. No, not for me. According to pros,
What do they say?
Some say 2, some say 3. It's quite divided.
Okay.
Some say the old school players, your Walshies, your Ogres, they love 2. Your newer school players, your Snipe Downs, your T-Squares, your these kind of guys, your Ninjas prefer 3. Actually, Ninja I'm not too sure about.
Ninjas?
No, Ninja I'm not too sure about. He loved Reach. He was amazing at Reach. But he would... I'm sure he'd argue 2 and 3 were better than Reach as a game. New school players tend to like 3 more. Halo 3 is just... Spent so much time on it. True skill system, so addictive. Great game. Very tactical game.
Even Halo 2 had that true skill.
Yes.
I did.
Good graphics. 2 I didn't get into as much. I didn't play it as much.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I don't.
Because it was a Xbox One.
Xbox One game, yeah.
Original Xbox game.
Yeah. And obviously I had issue.
Was it not? It wasn't launched. Halo 2 was launched with the original Xbox.
Halo 1 was launched.
Halo 1 was. And Halo 2 came after. Halo 3
came out a year after the 360 launch.
I think it came after, yeah.
A year, maybe 2, but I think a year.
So Halo 3 was...
Correct me, man, if I'm wrong, but is that the trailer where there's 2 kids staring up at Milky Way?
Yep, Halo 3.
Yeah? And it ends in a trailer with Chief in a bubble.
Bubble shield. Halo 3.
Amazing trailer.
One of the best game of any trailers of all time.
Yeah.
I think I had the picture up for
the next thing they show.
I know you had it up, the bubble shield one.
That's one of my pictures. The other one is when he's looking at the AR on the floor.
That picture's too good, man. I had that picture up as well, man. That picture, I think I had it on WhatsApp.
Too good.
There's
live action trailer in it. Or almost live action.
That picture says so much, man.
Then when he's running, running through the battle as well, and he ends with the thing.
Yeah,
That's amazing, man.
3 was...
It doesn't end like the missiles. He bubble shields for a second.
That was the first time the bubble shield came in the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
When they did it with like unique features, unique items going to be added to the game, isn't it?
Yes, they were showcasing that in the trailer.
That was amazing.
But they sold it for you, man. They sold it too.
What game? Your different game types, MOG, it was huge on MOG. I used to watch it all the time. Halo 3 was massive. Chris Pocket was all over that, man.
I remember when I bought the Xbox 360, Graham had died off gaming a bit by this point, and he came to me and he goes, "There's a game, it's called Halo 3, make sure you buy it. I want to play it."
Big game, man.
And I was thinking, shit, what's this game he's talking about that he wants to play, right?
That was a peak.
This is that game that I played that I thought was campaign. In Blood Clot.
Guccini.
My second one is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It's because the first ever...
Yeah, that's what I think.
Internet game that I played, and I just couldn't believe it. Just like you said, that you couldn't believe it. But yours obviously a bit different.
That'd be a good debate.
But, being in a lobby with, 11 other people... I'm like, are these human? Yeah. And you can hear them. Some of them were speaking, not saying nice stuff. Not saying nice stuff.
Sis, your mum. I just used to look a poor and just straight your mum. Yeah. I never got
top 3 words was faggot. Top 3 words was like faggot. As soon as you start speaking, you're not even speaking to them. Shut up, faggot. And then now you're just basically going down a rabbit hole from there. From there you're going down a rabbit hole.
You're not even speaking to them.
Shut up, faggot. And so and I couldn't believe it. And then I was going for 0-14 every game. But the fact of just being there and couldn't believe that they were humans
playing.
I remember my older brother coming, what are you doing? We're playing as humans. Like, these are humans on the other team. I couldn't figure it out. And it took my brain ages to figure out. And once I killed someone for the first time, I remember that feeling.
You teabagging?
No, I didn't know what to do. But just killing someone the first time, or even controlling the gun. I don't think I'll ever forget it.
Was it your first online game?
Yeah, that is definitely the first time I played online. Yeah,
that's the first game I've ever come across where the sequel had come out, World at War, but Modern Warfare still was more expensive. And
World at War came out on Modern Warfare. I was those two.
Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops.
And World at War was it received well? World at War.
It was,
because it's on a 2-year cycle. These pieces of shit were still doing World War 2 crap. While Modern Warfare had just changed the whole industry forever, but they couldn't change the game midway, right? So they had to release it, nobody bought it. And then when Modern Warfare 2 came out,
hey, bro, I have really fond memories, not even of that game, but of your house, bro. I remember you sat me in your house and you reintroduced me to sound. I remember there was a moment where you made me realise the importance of sound alongside the visuals.
Was that Rainbow Six though? More
Rainbow Six and Modern Warfare. Rainbow Six did it, which was the mode we used to play Terroristan. And I could hear the guy, "Fucking kill him!"
Shoot him in the fucking head means you're dead.
Shoot him in the fucking head, you're dead.
Yeah, shoot him in the fucking head means you're dead.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. The next shot, it comes in it.
You could be in a vault behind the door locked.
Shoot him in the fucking head. You're dead.
You find a way to kill
You're dead.
You basically don't hear that.
You don't want to hear it, ever. I remember they taught me how important sound was that in that game, man. I remember where I got to a point where I thought I was good. And I knew you were really good. And I remember Imi was also really good.
Yeah,
and he brought his mate around.
Yeah,
Sunny. He brought his mate Sunny around. He thought he was sick. And I was like, shit, when nice early. I can't remember, it was nice early. Sunny did not go home in the Sunny, right? It was not Sunny for him anymore. He changed his name, brother. That was a good day, man.
So Modern Warfare will never be forgotten. Oh.
If any Call of Duty deserves to go on that list, it's Modern Warfare.
Yeah. It's gone.
No,
I
I won't disagree with that. Like, I love Modern Warfare. So,
Not 2?
Huh?
Two is technically better in every way.
2.
Yeah.
I love 2, but 2 introduced some mechanics that I love, and the map was really way more memorable.
Yeah,
but Modern Warfare, where I think the style really introduced to it. And switch
and then we had a clan going.
Yeah, PLK.
The fact that we never even... We could have proceeded 10 times.
It's funny, we were playing with a clan, and I don't understand their language at all. Yeah, I love
Polish guys.
All I know is good, I know.
Yeah.
We were just saying that, and it all made sense, man.
Okay, let's bring it back to Number one.
Number one for me is Breath of the Wild, man.
Yeah. Shit!
I knew it.
Did not see that coming.
Wild Breath.
Did not see
I remember you
that
saying
coming.
this to me. I've played it. It's the best game I've ever played.
It just got
Well,
wild.
this
It
time.
just got
You
wild,
texted
bro.
me not too long ago, I think like 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, you said something to me like, shit man, the last time we were in Starbucks properly together, we were playing Breath of the Wild, you didn't have a kid, you weren't married, you weren't even looking a job, you were just chilling in Starbucks every day.
Breath of the Wild.
And I remember how much I enjoyed that time, man. I
3 hours
how
would
much
go
I
like
really,
that.
like
Well, and you were
that. The
playing
charger
it-
finished, didn't it?
So you reckon you feel like you played the whole game?
No, not the whole game. Not the whole
No, but like,
'Cause he
I
had
think
put, like,
we fought
180
our
hours
first boss
into it.
together. Bro, you did something.
Yeah,
I was
first
really
boss,
jealous.
yeah.
I'm at this adult, I was so jealous. He's on my Switch, he's doing a side mission. I was like, do this. Do a side mission. Don't do any of the mission, please. There's a side mission and leads to this amazing 3 dragon mission at the end of the mission.
And it's
like,
a side
just
mission.
stop playing, please, so I can take over. I was dying. I didn't want to
And that's
take
still a
over.
side mission?
It was a side mission, man.
Wow.
It led to this amazing 3 dragon main mission.
I wish that came out when I was younger, man. I did not have the time for that game.
Did you play it? Yeah.
I attempted to play it, but it was too big for me.
Yeah, the world is.
big.
I'm not lying. I explored every inch of that map.
But did you get every Korok seed?
I pretty much nearly got there, but I think it was like 700. I think I was like 650.
What are these?
But
It just
the little
counted
Korok
as-
seeds that you get to upgrade your life, but they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. But I that's what I meant. I was literally going for the completionist thing.
That's what the 650.
And I remember doing a puzzle rush where I'm trying to remember the game was saying do it this way.
The sword. The sword. You told me
Yeah,
about
I did
this.
something.
So
I did a
you
completely
needed to
different
put.
way.
I remember you telling me you needed to put on a weight onto a dungeon puzzle to make the door open.
Yeah.
And you couldn't find the perfect weight, so you were like, maybe my sword is heavy enough.
Yes, that's exactly
Yeah, then you put the
that's
sword
exactly
there.
I dropped my
It's
sword,
like,
yeah.
fuck.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, the game just gave you physics.
Yeah.
And you just figure it out
Yeah.
the rest.
If you think you can do something, there's very, very high chance you can do it in the game. Very, very high chance.
That game, though, you need a lot of time for.
Yeah, that's
Too
the
much
thing with
time.
that game.
That's what I mean. I'm telling you, my last hurrah on a campaign game for sure. I'll never ever play a game like that.
Breath of the Wild 2?
And it was so perfect because I was. Huh?
Breath of the Wild 2 has been
I
announced.
don't think I'll be able to do it.
Actually, be announced, yeah?
You'll definitely.
No.
You'll definitely.
I definitely
Breath of the
play
Wild
it, but
too.
bro,
been
I'm
announced,
100 hours in Breath of the Wild. If you go on my
Yeah.
Switch, they're 100
If you
hours.
say 10 out of
That's
10.
wrong. I shouldn't even be playing that much, bro, but that's how much I played it.
You would
That's
play
I
it.
would go to Starbucks every day, I'd go home, charge it, put it on the dock, start playing. Take it off charge, go to bed, start
What was
playing.
the story like? If I watched the YouTube video as a Zelda fan just to know the story,
It's the
Ganon,
same stuff. I think
whatever
like
his name,
I think,
Ganon,
yeah,
Ganon or
Ganon,
something.
Zelda been captured, got save us. And you've now woken up. But I think the thing that made this game, this is why I was talking about Skyrim and whether you can go wherever you say you can go.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, you can go wherever you can see. And not only that, you can climb everything. Because they introduced climbing mechanics, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can climb anything.
Was it
However you want to
you
climb,
really-
just get up there.
was it you and me who were talking about after playing Breath of the Wild and having the climbing mechanic? Then I think we played Uncharted or Skyrim or Witcher.
Yeah, you Assassin's Creed, didn't it? Why can't you just climb it?
Yeah, you just expect to be able to climb it. Yeah, good. That was 13th of the all-time list, Sufs.
Yeah, I can understand why. But I know Breath of the Wild, and I think it was I don't know what the old Zelda's like, but everyone at the time when they were getting reviewed was saying it's a huge departure from the Zelda formula.
It is.
And I can't remember what it was. I think it was the open world.
It's the open world, yeah. So my number one is Ocarina of Time, which is a completely linear story.
And I know why this is amazing. I don't know why I've heard so many people talk about this.
Did you say Battlefield 3?
Yeah, that was third.
Okay.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time is the first game where you go on an adventure. Like by the time you finish that game, Link goes from being a boy to a man, and you feel like I've went from a boy to a man as well.
That's exactly how I felt with.
How many hours you put into, like you almost forget how the story even began. You've gone through so much by the end of it. But now that's standard for most games. But back then it was unbelievable.
I completely felt that way. I remember Greg Miller described it really well. He goes that when you play Breath of the Wild, I think imagine Ocarina of Time just like this. He goes, you know from the very beginning there's this huge villain called Ganon. Yep. You also know that you can go to him from the very moment the game starts. You can run to his castle, go fight him. You can get to the end, and some people have done that and beaten him. And he goes, the entire game is just about you as an individual building up the confidence to go fight him.
Yeah, which sounds amazing, but it's definitely a departure from the other.
Yeah, like for me, it was like I wanted to build up every weapon I had, get the best stats, then I'll go find him. And that's what I did, and he was a nothing for me. He was a nobody, man. I was like, you're shit now. Everyone else I fought along the way just taught me that you're nothing, and I'll battle you.
I guess the Ocarina of Time had a similar thing, but like that game was all about the passage of time. Like that's why it's in the name. And there's a moment in that game where you've spent so much time with the main character that I don't want to spoil it, but actually you guys probably don't know spoil it, right? So there's you know the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Once Link takes it out of the stone, they make him into an adult, and all the world you just explored, this massive world, had just been shifted now into a dark dystopian version of that world. And I remember thinking that the start of this game and everything was so happy and colourful seemed like so long ago, and you don't get that sense of time and scale with video. You just didn't get it back then. I remember thinking like it was so long ago that I was like this little kid in a village and things were happy and like fuck, so much has changed. The world is dark and I'm on this mission and the princess and Ganondorf. I'm like fuck man, I don't even remember how this game began. I'm just in the middle of a journey. I don't even remember how it started. That's how much epicness it had to it. Brilliant game.
I think IGN got it top best game of all time, right?
Metacritic definitely does. I don't know if IGN. Most people do, man.
I remember that. I think I'm pretty certain it goes back to this WhatsApp group is there. But I was at QA and we were in a team meeting and I knew the time the Zelda reviews were coming out. And all I kept doing was refreshing IGN. And I knew I was going to see a 10 because I had heard one of them talk about the game before. When I saw the 10, I just turned it off. I was like, I just need to get my Switch. And I'm going to get Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
Launch game.
On that
Launch game. What a fucking launch game.
Wow. Yeah. That game, I think, also sold more copies than it did Switches at the time. I think it was a 2-to-1 ratio. It was weird.
Yeah. That's a great game. That's where you got number one.
Going from a launch title to another launch title. Wow.
Halo 1. Halo 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the PC. I didn't play much on the Xbox, although my first exposure to it was on the Xbox. I played at Sandeep's house.
Is your earliest memory of that game looking at the Halo ring?
I wouldn't say, no, I'd say more the grass, but Halo Ring was definitely one of the things I looked at, so I'd say the grass.
I know what you're saying about the grass, man. That was fucking... It was.
Do you remember the
It's the whole game, isn't it?
If you look at it now, honestly, I was doing that, man. Honestly, that's
What's look at the ring?
This is why I play Inverted, yeah.
Halo fucking ring,
I actually wanted to look at the ring, yeah. Halo 1 was just amazing, man. Even the campaign was really good, loved it. But it was really when I got it on, it was the trial version I downloaded on PC. It wasn't even the full game.
I don't even know that.
It was the Halo trial I downloaded. So I started playing the Halo trial, yeah. Playing it normally, playing it, learning it. Obviously, I knew what pistol 3-shot kill is what you use, right? Then I got introduced to, I entered a clan, I joined a clan, right? random clan.
I
And I
remember
played
this.
against
The trial version only had Blood Gulch and Rat Race.
Only Blood Gulch. Only Blood Gulch. Only Blood Gulch.
That's what I played.
Yes.
I played the trial and everyone was on it.
Played Blood Gulch.
That's what I played.
Amazing map, Rat Race. Amazing map. So I played Blood Gulch, joined a clan, randomly, American dude. Played against a clan who I ironically joined us with the clan I was playing with after.
What are they called again?
MRL.
MRL.
Playing against, you know the guys, I know these guys really Smiley, Prince, Chrissy, Sella, Mark.
I remember
these guys. So I was
15 years ago.
we got battered because these guys are amazing players. We're just hiding in the corner, literally hiding in behind a rock, getting battered. The moment you pop up, dead.
Against the MRL clan.
Against the MRL clan, yeah. Oh no, I got battered, and then I'll stay towards the end. I'll just said, "Can I add, like, I want to get better at the game."
Yeah.
He's like, "Just add me on MSN." Remember MSN, right?
Yeah.
I did MSN, started playing a bit. Got introduced to something called Blue Dog servers. So they had servers. So you know, you can set server names, yeah? You set server names, the random names people have in it. Like, random stupid names people put, like, I will beat you, or, looking for a girl, that kind of stuff people put up.
Well, so, you when they join the gang to play.
Yeah,
Girls only, innit? Girls only is the best one.
no killing chat only. Chat.
Girls only is too good.
And then there was B ____. I always wondered what that was, and then I found out the password of the servers was Blue Dog. When you join that server, people had weird looking names, and those people knew how to play the game. So they're the people you play against to get better at the game. It's got better and better and better.
And this is what
this is on a trial, dude. This is not even the full game.
And when you're playing against these guys, are you going through the menu of Halo, so multiplayer, online, and you're finding it through there, or is this a application outside of the game?
Oh, it's application. Well, no, it's still within the game, within Halo Trial.
Okay,
Halo Trial
so the server that you're looking at, the Blue Dog, whatever it is, that's in the game itself.
in the game itself. So you have a server list.
Yeah,
you
I remember
have a server list,
that.
and you go on there, and that's where people set up like clan wars and stuff, and you fight against each other.
Sick.
That's where it was all set up.
Amazing, man.
Then after obviously we went on to tournaments. I had some tournaments. There was online. We had online tournaments set up, which we did really well. We got loads of tournaments.
Yeah, I remember, man. I remember that.
I still remember, man. The one time we lost a match, man. We were 3v4. We didn't have a fourth. We were 3v4. We lost to another clan. It was oddball, and the only reason we lost, if it was a Slayer, we would have battered them. But because it was oddball, you need the fourth player.
You couldn't decide the playlist, huh?
We didn't know. We couldn't set a playlist. But the fourth we didn't have, or he got disconnected. I don't remember. It was one other. And we lost. And as soon as, do you remember Crossfire?
Yeah.
We used Crossfire.
You recorded it and you showed him.
No, that was different. That's another story. This was the one where we had that clan war and then we came off. We lost. But we lost, and we only lost. We had like a 15 win streak. We lost, man, and then I received so many messages like, "Oh, he lost."
I remember that, man.
I'm like, "God, let's play this, man."
You were online personality in that game. You were
to a small circle, yeah.
That's what I had. Now that you've told me that trial, I didn't know it was a trial, but I'm pretty sure that's what I had installed. Because I only remember one multiplayer map and it was Blood Gulch. That's all I remember, and I always thought it was a campaign level. This is the game. That's where you have to defeat.
That story you're on about was where I was 1v1 against a guy in the final. I was 1v1 against him, and I remember. I said to him, "Make sure this guy records because he's known to aimbot. He's known to aimbot."
And he didn't record it.
He didn't record it. He said he's recording. He didn't record it.
But you recorded it.
I recorded it. Yeah, uploaded it, and then I sent it to Osmo, man. He goes, "You got aimbot against." He goes, "Straight up, he's the best player in France, by the way." The guy I was sent it to, he goes, "This guy aimbot against you blatantly," and he beat me by 4 or 5 kills as well.
For legitly, you had reached a level where you were playing the best in the world. In that thing, but you're playing the best in the world. Like when you're the best in France and Halo.
Yeah, that guy was like, he used to play the full game.
Yeah.
So he was a beast. Like that guy was
But you were chilling with the top crew.
So if you go now and look at montages, if you look at montages, like European montages, you'll see his name all the time. Like Osmo will pop out clips from him. Yeah, he was known. He was big, man.
Great game.
I wonder if Halo Infinite will change the game in any way, man. Is there any chance?
They need to send it back to the old ways, man. That's the only way they'll revive it. Old ways. The good thing is they have Ninja now.
Do they? As a consultant?
No, well, they have Ninja with Microsoft, obviously.
Yeah, it makes the program. So he'll be first come, first serve.
So hopefully
He loves Halo.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's kind of
He's an
advocate,
right now.
He should definitely come out on E3 then.
Yeah.
To announce it.
They need to.
He needs to
balls
come
up,
to
man. They honestly need to balls up. That's what it is. They need to balls up. They need to do something and go back to what made Halo great.
Graphically,
Dude, what they showed at E3 was shit.
Wait, what did they show us at E3?
yeah,
They said the new console, Scarlet, blah blah blah, and Halo is a launch title, and here it is. They introduce the next console, and then tell you the Halo's launch title, and then they show you something that is, even if you played it on my current Xbox, I would be disappointed in it.
I don't remember anything.
Bro, Digital Fan, remember, were raving about it, man. They were saying this is...
I don't remember it being terrible. I didn't show a lot.
Honestly, if you told me this on my current console,
I'm gonna have
It wasn't great either.
I would say it looks...
It was mainly like in a spaceship, contained spaceship.
Yeah, but
Flying off in it.
show me Riz?
Warthog.
They didn't show a lot either, did they?
Discover Hope, that one.
Must be.
Halo Infinite, yeah. Cinema.
No, not that. Just to type in gameplay.
What?
Just type in E3.
Just type in Halo.
Gameplay demo here, that one.
Probably, yeah.
1 month ago.
Click on one of them and...
There's definitely no gameplay.
There is no gameplay.
Yeah,
that was gameplay. You were clickbait.
What were you watching?
Yeah, Rickroll.
No, that was like it's the in-game potential of the in-game render.
Around and talking
This
to
one?
the dude.
Yeah, you're just chatting to the dude.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah,
Forward halfway.
yeah.
If you told me that's current gen, I'm gonna yeah.
But the thing is, like, obviously it's in its development phase and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I hope, man. I'm up.
Because graphically, I'm sure. The thing about Halo as well, it's not all about. It's not graphics is always.
Yeah, no, graphics.
But it was about graphics. If you're saying it's a launch title, it's gonna be graphics. Otherwise,
There's something about Halo. And
I guess with Halo is that sort of game that obviously his gameplay is amazing, but graphically it's always good. It's good. Like
I would say it was the leader in graphics when it first came out.
It's always been true. Especially with Halo 1.
I think
Halo 1 was a leader.
I have a feeling it will look stunning, man.
Halo 2 again, leader. Halo 3 had a drop off, but still good. And then since then they've lost their ways. It has to be graphically.
The main thing with me is that obviously I'm not huge about graphics, but it depends on the game, I suppose. But
Flight Simulator.
Flight Simulator.
Flight Simulator graphics real life.
Well, it is, and
if you're going to release it on launch on a new console,
it's got to look good.
New console equals better graphics. It has to.
It's like when Rise came out.
Yeah.
Remember Rise came out?
Mad.
It looked really good, right?
You need to have it. If it's Halo to show a piece of title, that's got to be.
But I think gameplay is more important.
Of course, the longevity is in gameplay.
But I agree with you. Graphics is important as well. But I think, oh man, they can really. I just don't have that confidence in 343, man.
Same,
honestly,
same. That's what it is. If it was
Bungie, absolutely kill it, man.
Boys, Destiny 3 this year.
But Reach wasn't good, and Destiny 1 and 2 aren't known for its multiplayer.
This is the problem, isn't it? This is why Bungie kind of chucked it off a cliff.
But even their multiplayer, they're not known for it, are they? Like,
what?
I'll get it.
So like, I feel like they definitely took the
Halo.
Yeah, but they were
Halo 2 and Halo 3 are amazing.
No, I'm saying that after Halo 3, one thing you were saying, obviously 343 took over after Reach, and they messed up, and they flopped it quite a lot. But Bungie took it from Reach onwards. They made Reach, and then they made Destiny 1 and 2 in it.
Yes.
And what I'm saying, their multiplayer in Destiny 1 and 2 isn't incredible.
Yeah, because the key focus is more about the whole kind of like MMORPG.
Yeah, they're focused.
That's why the focus wasn't as much on the multiplayer as No True Skill, for example. Yeah. So that's kind of like a part of the game.
I think
part of the game.
I have a feeling Infinite's going to be something incredible, man. Revolutionary.
I've just got a feeling it'll have some open world elements to it. Just because give the name Infinite, it'll have some open world elements to it.
If it has Battle Royale.
That it won't have.
With a bunch of 100 Master Chiefs. Final Chief left.
According to their tweet, they won't have that in it because they say the only BR we're interested in is a battle rifle.
Oh, you never know, man.
Yeah.
Market pressure, bro. You never know.
It's true. It's true.
But you're right. If they're not working on it now, you don't want to add a tacked on battle royale at the end with 2 months of development.
They need to do something, man. They need to do something, though, man. What will help is PC launch as well at the same time. That'll help. But they need to do something unique.
I think in this day and age, when you're releasing a multiplayer game, if the streamers can't make it look exciting, no one's going to play it.
100%, yeah.
And 100%. Streamers cannot make the old Halo the way that used to be played. They cannot make it exciting. They just can't.
Yeah,
they need to make it entertaining for Twitch viewers.
That's where the challenge is, man. And that's where you kind of have to come up with.
That's where Battle Royale killed it, because the adrenaline
appeals to everyone. It's
felt by the viewers as well as the players.
The things you always feel the adrenaline with Battle Royale games, when it comes to games like Halo, it won't always have adrenaline.
It can't just be team deathmatch on Blood Gulch 2. It can't be.
It can't. You need to have something like what Modern Warfare did, right? With the gunfight.
Yeah.
Something like that. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, gunfight.
Yeah.
Gunfight.
That's the adrenaline pumping all the time. Halo needs something like that.
Short and snappy.
Halo needs something like that. Anyways, we've dwelled.
Riz, take us home. What you got?
Metal Gear Solid on the PS1.
I should have known.
Grey Fox?
Amazing.
Yeah.
What happens to Grey Fox in the game?
Nothing. He dies a martyr. That's all you remember. He dies a martyr.
Have you seen the video how he dies?
No, he doesn't die like that. Yeah, I think that because I remember saying to my brother that graphics can't get any better. And now you can actually go back and count 4 pixels for an eye. But at that point, I remember telling him
3D
that.
in it.
Yeah, it's 3D and coming out of, I don't know if you guys remember it, when you complete the first little mission, you know, when he swims out and you complete that bit, and as he's going up the elevator, he takes off everything. It takes off everything, and then you meet Liquid for the first time.
Yeah, on the helicopter.
And you just like, obviously, and we were brothers, so we kind of understood like what was kind of going on here, and that kind of just drew me in. I was like, oh, that guy looks cool. Like, even though the first time you met him, you want to be that guy now. You want to be that guy now, as you know. And then obviously as it went on, it was just so different. The game was just so different. You have to start, or maybe you hadn't played a game where you actually had to really think about what you're doing, like chuck chaff grenades. If this thing's watching you have to chuck a chaff grenade in there, and it only gives you like 10 seconds to get in and out. And then when you have to go to snipe a wolf, you're like, oh shit, your girlfriend's about to die.
Light a cigarette, throw lasers.
Yeah, like your girlfriend's about to die. But we're gonna have to take you back through a pack of wolves. Go past them. And then go pick up a sniper that you could have got like 9 years ago. And then you have to come all the way back. Oh, don't fall in the trap while you're trying to get there too. So, you know, like so
There's
much
something
thinking
very
to do.
claustrophobic about the wolf in the cave one. So claustrophobic.
Especially when you're crawling and they see you.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get out and they're still doing this, isn't it? He's like, and he's still
Did you
dying.
get any of the story at that time? Did it make
not the way you get it now.
But enough. Did you get a story out of it?
Yeah, I get that you have fox, you're dying, your fox dying, you're dying, and blah blah, and then this is your brother and he's on the other side, and you used to be on the same side, but now you believe in something different, and you have the colonel with you and stuff like that.
For me, as an action game through and through, a hero is sent in to save someone.
What game? Action.
Metal Gear Solid 1. It's like an action movie, isn't it? Heroes being sent in somewhere to save someone and then rescue the day. None of like the deeper messages of the game.
Oh, and
You have
plus
to.
the big thing was it was the first two-disc game
The what
on the
game?
PS.
Oh, was it?
It's if I remember right, it was the first two-disc game.
2-disc game.
Oh, 2 discs. Sorry, I missed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
2-disc game. So
In fact, I
before
remember
you
you
get to
break the
Sniper
disc.
Wolf. Yeah, Sniper Wolf.
Yeah, that's pretty
You
cool.
beat her. So you beat the second time you switch it over.
Yeah.
Not the first time you beat her is with the sniper, and then you're supposed to beat her with the sniper again in the snow. But all you do is go back where you started and you use the Nikita launcher and just.
Fuck. Till this moment.
You didn't know how to do that in the beginning, right? Your first playthrough.
No, we did. We had the cheat thing, innit?
Yeah.
You guys must remember that dude, man, with the glasses and the cap backwards, the cheat code guy, man.
I remember, you showed me at your
red.
house. It was like DVD covers, right?
Yeah, it's like a red thing, and and it's basically it didn't have to have any cheats.
It was like all black and white, right? It was just like white.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
But it did. So that was the only game that didn't actually have cheats. It just gave you like hints on what to do. It didn't give you any cheats. So another one would be the Psycho Mantis one. But it's like when you meet Nikita the second time around, this is how you do it. Basically,
it's more like
you
a
just
walkthrough,
hide.
innit?
Yeah, you just hide here. And you get the Nikita launcher and you just basically find her, which, think she's liding at. You just keep blowing her up. And then we did it like that. And then changing a second disc over to go to another part of the game. That was nuts.
That game was... That was the kind of the first stealth game, right?
I don't know. It must have been a different stealth game before.
Because Splinter Cell came afterwards. That came
yeah.
afterwards, man.
They definitely sold it as the espionage game.
Yeah,
They used to keep saying that word over and over again.
It's in the front of the bloody thing, isn't it? Tactical
espionage
espionage.
shooter.
Yeah, shoot or something.
Shooter.